Okay, I still kind of have a sore throat, so for the most part, this week's episode of Raw Recap is brought to you in part by Ricola Dual Action Cherry. A nice hard outer coating, which is nice and sweet, and then the center, which is pretty much straight menthol, which really opens you up. This was actually a pretty decent episode of Raw. You know, it was great seeing Jonah Hill as the guest host. That didn't happen. Brodus Clay finally got to make his debut. No. 0 for 2 on things that were supposed to have happened so far this month. Not a big deal. We began with essentially everybody and their mother talking about how important it is for them to become the #1 contender at TLC. Which allowed John Laurinaitis to make essentially a bunch of pretty decent matches. The Miz took on Orton in an okay match. They don't have the best chemistry, but not a bad match. Wade came down, distracted Orton, which therefore allowed Miz to win, to be a count-out. And that put Miz into the main event match at TLC. The WWE Championship, of course, it being a TLC match. Alberto Del Rio took on Bryan Daniels. Or Daniel Bryan. I'm just going to call him Bryan Danielson, just get it over with. In a pretty decent match. Of course, last Tuesday, Danielson kind of got murdered with that finish. You know, second rope, world's strongest slam. He's pretty heavily bandaged up. Short match, but a good one. You know, it's letting me know that Del Rio has got at least chemistry with 3 people currently in the ring. Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, depending on what I'm talking about. CM Punk and Rey Mysterio. I know with 2 of those people, Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson and CM Punk, those 2 guys are ridiculously good workers and can probably make a great match with me, who hasn't had any in-ring experience in well over a decade, and make it look good and plausible on TV. That therefore put Del Rio into the main event. So as you can tell at that time, it's currently a triple threat. John Cena was going to fight Zack Ryder. If Ryder prevails, Ryder gets a US title shot. If Cena prevails, Cena goes into the WWE Championship match at TLC. A pretty decent back and forth match. And of course John Cena wins. Afterwards, Ryder's kind of cheesed off. And then John Cena goes back to Laurinaitis, and I was like, you know, Ryder deserves a shot at Ziggler. And he does, all things considered. You know, Morrison and Ziggler shouldn't have had a match. It should have been Ryder and Ziggler in the last pay-per-view. So, of course, you know, branching off that, Laurinaitis goes, okay, fine, I'll give him a shot, okay? But for him to have this shot, you can't be in the main event at TLC. So then they put Ryder in a match against, are you ready? Are you ready? Mark Henry. In a no DQ, no countout. Ryder puts on a pretty decent match against Henry. Henry's just too big, too strong. Cena shows up. AA tosses Ryder on top. 1, 2, 3. Ryder is going to take on Ziggler at TLC. Now, of course, Ziggler has a match against Sheamus. If Ziggler wins, he will again be pulling double duty. Ziggler, really good back and forth match with Sheamus. Ryder's music as he comes out of the ring. Ziggler looks at him, turns around. Brogue kick. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus victorious. Ziggler is not going on the TLC for the WWE Championship match. He now just has his US title match. And then how do we end things? Well, contract signing. The benefit of CM Punk at contract signing is that he actually talks about how lame and ridiculous they are. And how, to be brutally honest, they always end in some sort of over-the-top fight. Laurinaitis goes, no. This one's going to be different, Punk. We're all going to sign this, and then we're done. We're going to take a nice big photo. And it's going to be on WWEinteractive.com Universe Social. Or whatever weird, stupid thing they want to do that people who aren't actually watching wrestling can be on the computer with wrestling on in the background talking about how awesome the matches are they're not watching. When Punk is like, no. It's supposed to come up here, 6 Brawl. The Punk's like, it'd be great if that was trending on Twitter or something. Everyone signs again, the nice little verbal jabs back and forth. You know, Miz talks about how he took out R-Truth, how he took out Morrison. Punk's like, me like on a date? Just from how you're dressed, you take me to go see Twilight? Then Punk had to clarify, not that that's a bad thing. And then of course it ended with everyone getting involved and kind of beating on each other. And of course it ended with Punk putting Del Rio through a table, through a running bulldog, and then hitting the go to sleep on Miz. Good way to go. Good way to end the show. So all in all, pretty decent show. Lots of Ryder. So you can tell come the end of the year they're actually, oh, you know, I forgot one other match. Kevin Nash hobbled down to the ring, destroyed Santino Marella. Hobble back. But anyways, this is primarily Ryder's, primarily a pretty decently upbeat show. Oh, wait, I forgot to. The Pinup Strong Divas took on Kelly and Eve. Eve got a roll up on Beth Phoenix. Pretty much that was like the whole match. They did another promo for Kane. So he's coming back with the mask. Not the full mask, he's coming back with the mask that had his mouth exposed. Which would be pretty good. As well as the other one for, which could be for either Jericho or for Undertaker. Initially it was supposed to be for Jericho, but the main they could work for Undertaker too in case things would fall through with the deal. But anyways, doing a pretty good job heading into the TLC pay-per-view. So all in all, pretty decent Raw. Next week it's the Slammies. So everyone, please, Superstar of the Year, vote for CM Punk. Remember Money in the Bank. Remember the lead to Money in the Bank. Remember the lead between that and SummerSlam. Remember how awesome it was. Remember people were excited about it. Remember those things. Forget that he was part of the new Nexus. Forget that whole beginning part of the year. Focus on what he's done when he came over to Raw, dropped the Nexus, and became what he truly has meant to be. That is the best in the world of professional wrestling.